The main reason why coaches and consultants aren't closing more deals is actually not due to the lack of leads, but it's actually due to the fact that they don't have a systemized process in place for marketing and sales. So what I'm going to reveal to you today is the exact system that I use within my businesses and also help other businesses to implement so that ultimately they can close more deals and they've got an ongoing pipeline opportunity that they can continue to follow up. So let's dive in. So over on the left there, you can see all of the ways that a lead can come in. So we can either add a lead manually into our system. We can have someone that's doing outbound cold calls and generating that interest, or we can have an online form where inbound leads are actually filling out a form to get into your pipeline. Now, as soon as a lead is generated, the first thing we need to do is notify the person that is in charge of sales. Because ultimately, when we get someone interested, the faster we move, the more likely those people are to convert to paying clients. So that's the whole premise behind what we're trying to do here, because speed is everything. Now, once we've got that lead generated, the first thing that we need to do is get that into a sales pipeline. Now, for our CRM, what we always use is Go High Level. The reason for this is that we can have this set up as a pipeline and we can see the stages of opportunity where leads are currently sitting. And also, we can then assign those new leads to a salesperson so that they become a part of their personal sales pipeline, which then we can set follow-up tasks and everything like that so that we know that those leads are getting lost. Another thing I'm huge on is tracking your stats. So we actually track stats because we do so much lead generation through outbound calling. We use simply a Google Sheet to track the number of dials that our callers are doing each day, the number of conversations that they're having, and the number of leads that they're generating. Now, from that, we also get our sales guys in to then track their stats of each sales call and the outcome of those, so that ultimately the key stats that I like to track there are what is our show up rate? So how many people have shown up versus no showed or cancelled? And then from there, we need to then figure out what closing percentage are there. So what is the ongoing pipeline opportunity? So if we don't close them straight away, which one of those are lost? Which one of those are won straight away? And that gives us a key percentage to know where we should be targeting as a sales group to get better and better. So we want our lead to be notified at the salesperson. We want our lead to be added into our Google Sheet so we can track things there as well. And so our salesperson can track our stats. And ultimately, what we want to do as soon as that lead is generated is obviously get them booked into a calendar. Now, if we're making that outbound call, our caller should be doing that straight away, booking them straight into our salesperson calendar so that we know that the salesperson has to do nothing else. However, if it's coming through a manual lead form, obviously the salesperson is usually the person that's filling that out because they've generated a lead in a different way. Or if it's come online, we want that pushed straight through to our salesperson that then can call that lead, get them booked in for that calendar booking. Now, what we're going to have here is a delay between our calendar and when that call actually occurs. So we want to make sure through our CRM that we've got a clear confirmation sequence. Now, I'm going to give this to you right now, what that confirmation sequence should look like. Firstly, we want an email to go out with the calendar invite as soon as that call is booked. Then 24 hours out from the call, a reminder calendar appointment goes out. Reminder email goes out. Thirdly, we want an email to go out 1 to 2 hours before the call, as well as an SMS to notify them that that call is still coming up. And we also want our caller on the phone, whether that's the salesperson or whether that's the person that's generating the outbound call leads, someone in the business needs to jump on the phone and call them the morning of and just confirm that they're right for that appointment to go ahead. So from there, what we're going to do is that call is going to be completed. So there's a few things that need to happen once that call is completed. And this is where training of sales staff is incredibly important. Firstly, if that is an ongoing follow-up, what we want to do is tag that in our CRM, and then have a task created for our salesperson to follow up. Usually I set that follow-up task 3 days in advance, but the salesperson might wish to change that as well, depending on their conversations. The salesperson also needs to track the outcome within our Google Sheet that will give us our stats, and then also update our sales pipeline accordingly so that we can see what stage that person is at. All of this coming together now gives us our ongoing follow-ups. It gives us clear stats of what we've done. We're maximizing leads that are generated by adding them into a CRM and then actually using that CRM to make sure that we're maximizing all of our advertising spend on that front end. So this is kind of what a whole lead generation funnel system looks like. And this is why CRMs are so important, because ultimately, if you don't have these things in place, then at some point, if you're, say, a sole coach or consultant, you're going to forget to do some of these steps if you're trying to do it all manually. So my words of wisdom here is go ahead and invest in a good CRM to get this done for you so that you don't have to try to manually do this in the meantime, because if you try to do it, it's again, at some point, it's not going to be done. Reach out if you have any questions, put in the comments. Happy to step you through and talk you through any of this and answer any questions you might have.